Yo guys, so in this video today, you'll be watching me train my mechanics for 1 week. So let's be real, I'm getting old now, and even though some people say I'm good for a boomer, let's be honest, I'm some trash at this game.
You're trash, kid.
But this is the start of me trying to actually get good at this game, so let's see if in just 1 week I can improve my mechanics. Okay, so before we start with the progression, on screen now is the routine I followed every day for the last 7 days. Now of course, I could have used a variety of different practice maps to give me a wider range of scenarios, but to make it easier, I wanted to just use Raiders Mechanics Map V4, just to show you can still get solid training just from the scenarios on this map. Okay, so to start off day 1, we done speed training in the free build section. We started with 0.8x speed and tried to do as many edits as possible whilst trying to maintain good crosshair placement. We then went to 1.2x speed, which does feel quite fast, but the idea here is to just be as fast as possible without messing up edits. On day 1 I was definitely not used to this, so was messing up a lot. After that, we then freeboard at normal speed. And now the normal speed will feel a bit slower than usual, so we just focus on a combination of trying to be as fast and consistent with our builds and edits. After speed training, we then went on to tunnel classics. Now for the most part, on day 1 I was just fully lost on where to go next on the tunnels, so I was pretty slow and inconsistent on day 1. We completed all scenarios and then moved on to tunnel targets. The reason I think it's good to do the tunnel targets as well is that you can practice your piece control and builds against an actual target. We then went on to the Piece Control X peak training section, and for the first 3 days we chose easy, which means you can still make a slightly bad peak and a bot won't be able to see you. This scenario is really good, and throughout the week it made me realise how much I over peak and how many unoptimal edits I make when fighting. We then went on to peak practice for 5 minutes. The reason I wanted to include this was for me personally, I often make bad peaks, and not only that, sometimes I mess up the reset, so I make a good peak and then not close the edit in time, allowing my opponent to shoot me. I thought including this would help me start to fix that mistake so I can improve as a player. To end day 1 off, we finished up with 10 minutes on the edit training section. I only chose edits that I actually would make in game on unselected left hand peak edits to prevent myself from getting in the habit of making bad peaks. We had every intention of doing 5 minutes of static and 5 minutes of moving targets, but on most of the days the moving scenario was bugged, so I had to do the static one. Okay, so day 5 was a day that I felt like I was finally making a bit of progression. It's really hard to feel like you're making progression day by day as you do these kind of routines, but on day 5 when I hopped on the game and started freeburn, I could instantly feel myself feeling a lot more locked in than normal. My mechanics just felt cleaner, smoother, and my crosshair placement was better. So it was at this point that I felt motivated to keep going and finish off the week's progression. And just like that, finally the last day of the training was here. At this point, even just the thought of mechanics training annoyed me, but the end was in sight. On day 7, I was definitely feeling a lot faster and even more consistent. My ability to maneuver through the drills was a lot more fluent than the first day. So, did my mechanics improve? Well, I would say yeah, my mechanics improved slightly. However, I wasn't expecting much improvement just from 1 week of mechanics training, and neither should you. The truth is, doing 1 hour of mechanics training every day isn't for everyone, and there was many days throughout the week I just lost focus, felt bored and wanted to stop. I think a more sustainable way of improving your mechanics would be to spend only 30 minutes every day trying to improve, as this way you won't feel burnt out or bored for doing it too long each day. Overall, I definitely feel like my crosshair placement and general mechanics still improved, and I do feel like it was worth doing, but the most important thing to do after trying to improve at anything is to stay consistent. If I can improve my mechanics in 1 week, then I have no doubt you can too. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all soon.